Hello and welcome to Sam's on Wrestling, and this is Baby Sam.
It is indeed. That's
feeling,
my name.
You feeling negative today?
Always. No,
Right.
I'm not. I'm usually quite a positive person.
Yeah, so am I.
I am ready to have a bit of a moan
I
about
like
my
a moan.
topic. Yeah.
I feel we've had a bit of a moan today anyway, actually. I feel
so.
very moany. I think we're going to throw it onto camera. Big moany day. It's miserable weather outside. It makes you sad. But it's Christmas time! Sort of,
Yeah.
Some of you have it. When do you put your Christmas decorations up? When do you put them up? Mine are up.
I can't do it a day before December.
December 1st.
Yeah, December 1st.
December 1st is when my
I
Christmas
can't play
decorations
Christmas
up.
songs before the 1st of December.
Yeah, December 1st. I don't do nothing before December 1st. That's
and
it.
then I have my advent calendar and it's like bang. Some people start in November.
You have an advent calendar?
Oh, absolutely. And I will continue to do so till I die. I think an advent calendar is fantastic. Just have chocolate every day.
Adorable.
What's not to like?
This series is our Lockbox series. You know the Lockbox? What was inside the Lockbox? It was this. All the stuff that me and Baby Sam have put into the Lockbox. If you're unfamiliar with this, it's brand new for you. What we're doing is essentially, we are going to put something from the past, present, future, or even just a style, whatever it is that we want to get rid of wrestling. Is it a cliche? Is it a trope? Or is it simply a memory? It could be a storyline or anything which I just wish this didn't exist and I want to get rid of it. And the other person will decide if it goes into the Lockbox. Quite frankly, most things go into the Lockbox. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe and comment. What do you want to get rid of in wrestling from the past, present, or even something for the future you want to see ever again? What do you want to get rid of? What would go into your Lockbox? Baby Sam, would you like to tell us what you would like to get rid of in the history of wrestling?
So this is something that I think can actually be translated to just the wider world in general.
Okay.
It's the dirt sheets.
Oh,
They've
God.
Gotta go. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think it ruins it. So I don't mind the idea of peeling back the curtain a bit because I think we both find the politics and insider stuff of wrestling very interesting.
There's an element of when you get to a certain age where you've given up on kayfabe and you decide, do I still like what I'm watching? And usually the time it's no, but you get so fascinated when you find out what the hell is going on because wrestling is insane.
Yeah.
It's really backwards.
Yeah.
It's really old-fashioned. It's really quite, man. And it's really interesting to hear some of the stories, and they are fascinating. And clearly, as you can tell, I know about a lot of them, and I bring them out to you, and I educate you and stuff like that. Hence, the educating series on Educating Sam. Don't forget to watch those as well.
Yes.
But I am in the same boat as you, because I don't want to know stuff.
No. So I like the idea of looking back on historical stuff and peeling back the curtain of, oh, this is going on during this time, whatever. But I think the idea, and fans are absolutely culpable of this as well.
Yeah, fans are bigger than the people who actually give the information away.
Yes, because if fans didn't want it, then they'd have no platform to do it on.
Yeah.
The idea that people want to spoil a pay-per-view for themselves just because they want to seem like they're in the know. It's a massive thing with football and the transfers. Everyone needs to know that 5 months before it happens. It's a wider thing in terms of even so Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Yeah.
People were desperately trying to find out if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Yeah. Why
Watch
can't you go to the cinema?
Watch the film.
Think, are they, and just be really surprised. Why would you want to experience that surprise going, oh, I found that out on Twitter, rather than in a cinema? It's a cultural thing we've got in terms of needing to know everything and not just being able to sit back and just enjoy a thing for what it is.
There's two things to that on top of it. There's an element of entitlement, just because I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to be in the know. I want to be I always think people do it as a fake smart. Oh, I predicted that they would. No, you didn't. You heard Dave Meltzer say that's what's going to happen. But why would you want to know the thing? Because then you go, oh, it's predictable. And you've just found out. I remember when you get into it, when you start finding out it's not real when you're a kid. And the thing I remember the most that sticks in my head is 2005, so I'm 13, is I remember finding out that JBL was going to be in a barbed wire steel cage match. It hadn't been announced yet. It got announced at the Rumble. So they were a whole month in advance. And I knew already. Why would I do that? Why did I find out? And it ruined it for me because the moment of you're going to be in a barbed wire steel cage and then JBL sells it and he's I'm what I'd already known. And I'm the same as you. I don't want to know who's going to win. I don't want to know who's about to start a storyline. When you let's say pre-SummerSlam this year, Solo gets put in the main event. They're going, is Roman going to return? It's going to be Roman. It's going to be Roman. And everyone is trying to Google, is Roman there? And spoilers who turns up in the Rumble or who I don't want to know that sort of stuff.
No.
Stop that. Don't tell me but also stop looking it up.
And it makes wrestlers' jobs a lot harder because I
Yeah.
remember the Hardy Boys surprised a lot of people. But
We all knew.
Yeah,
I knew.
Exactly.
I
A lot
knew.
of people knew, but they were going to so much length to convince people
That they
They're
weren't.
putting tweets. They're putting
They
fair
had a
play
ladder
to them.
match against the Bucks,
You know what?
man.
Fair play to them, and they tried so hard to keep that because you know what? That's what wrestling's about. It's about the surprises.
Yeah.
Why do you want to know? It really irritates me, and I social media. I'm just really disliking it in a lot of ways. Anyway, it's got a lot of good elements, but that's its own podcast.
We try to create our Twitter, by the way. Follow our Twitter. Sam's on Wrestling,
please do.
and try and have positive conversations as much as you can. Stop talking about Vince Russo.
But I just think it's a symptom of where we are as people that we can't just sit back and trust that we might not like what's going to happen, but you'd be surprised by it. And it's stuff like Edge's return. People are trying to find that out, and it's like
I knew that.
Yeah, and I wish I could have grown up in an era which you did,
Yeah.
where you have no clue.
Nothing. I
No
didn't know
clue.
anything.
Like I did maybe early on, like John Cena at the Royal Rumble. Like
Yeah, they kept that well.
no
They
one,
did well at
no
that.
one knew. But I remember Sting at Survivor Series, and I
knew.
exactly.
I knew.
As a fan, especially recently, I don't even go on Twitter and look at stuff because I don't want to know. So you'll know stuff, and I'll be like, I don't want to know stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Sting when he came back, but a lot of people knew when Sting debuted, and I'm like, that is an amazing moment.
You've
Sting
spoiled
has
it.
finally debuted. Like, this is like decades and decades in the making,
Mhm.
and you got on a website to spoil that for yourself, so you're less excited about that. Don't you want to enjoy wrestling?
People start arguing about a thing that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
They're going, they're going to put the title on this person. You go, oh, they shouldn't put the title on this person. You're like, but why?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know the story they're going to do, and you already know you've already got an issue with something that hasn't happened, and you don't know what's going to happen.
And it's that thing of everyone has to be a booker, which, you know, to be fair, we can be guilty of it at times, but I think there's a balance between going, this would be cool, but not
Well,
dying on that hill.
What's been my magic sentence since the Triple H era? Let's wait and see. Let's see what happens. People complain about something happens, and I go, whoop, yes, maybe it's bad, but maybe there's an idea behind it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in a few months. Triple H has had things going on for months and even a year in some cases.
Yeah.
You know, let's just try and wait and see and stuff. I think the problem with the dirt sheets is the IWC is the thing that's always an issue anyway, but the dirt sheets of just finding out results or finding out what might happen in the future. I blame Dave Meltzer a little bit for this, to be honest, because he has so many friends in the business who give away so much information that then it feels like people have to change their plans. And I don't know if it was a thing that Vince did all the time, where he felt like he had to chop and change because people might know stuff and whatever. Like, I'll give you an example of that.
I know what you're going to say.
Christian?
I was going to say Sheamus winning the Rumble.
There you go. So Christian was first before that. When Christian returned, he was meant to be the one who was attacking Jeff and blowing up the fireworks and stuff like that and killing his dog in a fire and all that. That was going to be Christian. And then the IWC found out and started pushing it. And Vince went, all right then, Matt Hardy, off you go Christian, you go on ECW and get Todd Christian go, it's Christian. In the worst return ever. So, like, that's... And then you're absolutely right. Sheamus winning the Rumble was not the plan. It was going to be Jericho, but it was like, oh, you think of Jericho? I'll change it to Sheamus then. As far as we know. But, like, that's people finding out so much pre something happening. And I just don't get that. I don't get it with movies. I don't get it with this. And I'm absolutely certain... I'm with... Yep, get it. Put it in there, Sam. I'll put it in there. That's absolutely fine.
Listen.
Bye. See you later. Goodbye. God bless.
Can you imagine how much better wrestling would be as an experience if you just didn't know? Like, there was nothing of that.
You can't stay off social media in this modern age.
No.
And if you're a wrestling fan like we are, we have to follow a lot of the wrestling things for, you know, job and all that sort of stuff. And you can't get away from it. You can't get away from opinion, and you can't get away from, you know, finding out information that you don't need to know.
Like, imagine if you had absolutely... Survivor Series 23, you had no idea Punk was showing up.
No.
You're about to tune out that pay-per-view, and suddenly it happens, whereas everyone kind of thought it was going to. I ramble, sorry, but it's just, it really bugs me about people and just
Get in the
wrestling.
Lockbox.
Yeah.
My Lockbox choice is a bit more light-hearted than yours.
Oh, good.
So I'm glad we've got a little bit of this. And do you know what? It's a little bit of a theme. I would like to put into the Lockbox, Sam, Christmas-themed episodes of Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
I hate them. Like, viscerally hate them. And I don't know if the WWE know this as well, because they literally don't even try, because they think no one's watching. But my brain goes, the time that people should be watching or could be watching is actually at Christmas time. All people do at Christmas is watch the TV.
Stick the telly on, yeah.
So why not make it a tradition like the Raw after WrestleMania, which quite frankly has been rubbish recently, and go, what could happen in the Christmas episode. If you make it a gimmick, people will come and you might get your highest viewed. All you got to do to make something high viewed is be consistent with it and do something surprising. I hate these hardcore matches where people are like throwing like crackers at each other and they're opening a box and there's a teddy bear in there, I'll throw it at you, Del Rio. Like, I hate that everyone is dressed up in like Santa Claus and Santa Claus comes out and he gets run over or he meets Bret Hart or, and all this stuff. Or people have a Santa Claus fight and they're like Mark Henry versus whoever dressed as Santa Claus. I hate them because they don't mean anything. They don't go in there. They don't advance anything. No one watches. You completely lose your rhythm of watching wrestling because you just don't watch them. There's nothing on them. There's no storyline. And they're always a silly hardcore match. It's never taken seriously. It feels like people are breaking kayfabe in them. Like, I remember TNA did one, and they actually had barbed wire in theirs, and I was like, yeah, TNA. Yeah. They had, but all their matches, they had literally made it like, it was 2006. You need to watch from TNA from 2006. But they had gimmick. They have a gimmick pay-per-view at Christmas, effectively, on TNA on Impact. They had cage matches, barbed wire matches, hardcore matches. But again, they were 2 minutes long and no one cared. And then, if you want to go back to history that I grew up in, there was always some sort of women bikini Christmas contest. And by the way, I'm going to throw other themed things in there. Thanksgiving I'm going to throw in there as well. Halloween I'm going to throw in there as well. I hate all of them. They're not needed. They're not entertaining. They don't advance anything. They're always silly. Not silly in a funny way. People don't watch. They see the viewership and they just go, no one's going to be watching at Christmas. But they're not watching because you never did anything with it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. Do you think people are going to watch at Christmas? When was WCW's main WrestleMania? December with Starrcade. So it can be done. Sam, what do you think to themed, particularly Christmas episodes of Raw and SmackDown?
I absolutely get it. I think you can make it contained, so you can have like a backstage segment with like a Christmas party and you get some characters interacting, you get some
Which they did a few of those in 2001 and they did some funny ones in there. The Halloween one with John Cena rapping, I think it's most famous.
Yeah.
I'm okay with a couple of those.
Yeah.
But
make it contained.
But yeah,
and I think
have a party is fine by me.
It is like it's a Christmas special. Doesn't mean that it has to be Christmassy. It just means it's good.
Yeah.
Like you can have like a WWE Championship match.
Yeah.
Or just some like really good matches that you'd usually say for a pay-per-view. But let's put them here because it's a Christmas special.
Can I throw out what I would do on a Christmas special? That's where I would do Night of Champions. Your Christmas present is a championship match, and there are literally 4 titles on each show. You could have 4 really long, decent matches, and you won't have to book any storylines necessarily. You could have had number one contenders happen the week before. You could have somebody open a present and do it like a Vince Russo, who wins it for. Am I fired or have I got
to win? Cracker for number one's contenders match.
Yeah,
pull a cracker.
I'm okay with that because then the match could be a match and it could matter. And do you know what? If you actually have titles change hands, suddenly it becomes more good. And I would essentially do Night of Champions because I think that's a very easily Christmassy style thing. And you could do Raw and SmackDown. And people would know about it. They're doing Night of Champions and you do it literally. Because I liked the idea of day one as a pay-per-view. I actually liked that. And if you do day one, then you need the Christmas build. But they never had a Christmas build. So they had to build it really quickly because they had a day one pay-per-view that had no build. The matches were just, like, here's a 5-man WWE Championship match. Why? Because. So for me, I like the idea of a day one, New Year's Revolution. I like those pay-per-views there. I actually think it really helped us bridge Survivor Series to the Rumble and set up the Royal Rumble because they weren't setting up the Survivor Series. But the Christmas episode just killed it for at least 2 weeks because they might have done New Year's Eve as well.
Yeah.
They even did Raw on Christmas Day one year.
They did. It was live.
And it was live.
Who's going to Raw on Christmas Day?
It was full.
Yeah.
It was full.
I find that absolutely insane.
I think it's on the... Thank you, Triple H, he fixed that and did Raw recordings and stuff, which is the next problem because then you got your dirt sheets to find out what it is. But, like, either do a pay-per-view like Night of Champions, like I said, or do a Raw or SmackDown. Just don't do an episode on Raw if it's near Christmas Day. Don't bother. But
I did always enjoy the Slammy Awards. I've always been a fan of the Slammy Awards.
I put them in there. I hate the Slammys.
I love the Slammys.
Do you want to know why I hate Slammys? Because they never did anything with them.
Yeah,
and they were always really fake and false. They should have been voted for by the fans. And it should have actually been a real... And they should have made it... They actually used to be quite real. And then they became kind of gimmick and silly. And I think Vince just was like throwing them away as wasting time. Imagine going to that show and an hour of it is people getting a fake award that's not real.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go fake and not real.
No. When I say fake award, it's not even here. You've won.
Yeah.
You are the best of this, and no one's ever said discussed why.
You mean.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Christmas themed, particularly themed.
Oh, I can. So you're saying just in general, just bin it.
I want the bin it unless you're actually going to do something of some ilk to make people watch the show and no one watches it.
Because I think you could just have Michael Cole just say Merry Christmas at the beginning and that's all you really need to do. Would we complain and go, oh, no one's wearing a Santa hat?
Yeah.
No.
Who started to go, it's not very Christmassy on this Christmas episode.
If you want a Christmassy thing, go watch a Christmas film. If you're watching WWE, you want to watch WWE.
I think that's a very good way of thinking about it. Really good. And you know what? It's only one Raw and one SmackDown in the week around the Christmas time anyway. 2 if you're unlucky. Do something with it. I hate them. Yeah. What do you think? Would you get rid of Christmas? Are you going to let me? Can I put it in the lockbox?
I'm not going to rid of Christmas overall, Sam.
Oh yes.
let's be very careful. No, come on, Scrooge.
What are my 3 ghosts? Del Rio. I'll run you over. Can I get rid of Christmas themed episodes? Is it? Can I
yes.
Thank you very much. In the lockbox. What would you like to get rid of, wrestling? Do you agree with us? Would you care for the Christmas themed episodes? Do you care for the dirt sheets? Do you like finding out stuff in advance and kind of being in the know, you weirdo? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that jazz, as it's now the fun December time of the year where people wish it, even though it's not the time. They would say Happy New Year at like 15th of December.
No one said no. You can't say 15th of December.
They say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and that's it. It's like the 15th.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
Not
so Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2 days for our next episode. See you later, guys. Bye.